What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and I'm sad to say we only have like 2 more of these, bro.
This is it. One more, really. Dun, dun, after dun, today. Dun, dun, dun,
huh?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
We're here for Jumanji.
Jumanji, the next level.
Dun, dun, dun.
So let's rewind a little bit. A little bit ago, you and I watched the trailer for Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and we said,
stupid.
You stupid. Who wants to watch that? You and I, like many people, walked into that movie completely blown away, blindsided by how much we enjoyed it and how funny it was. And we both, I think in our review, just were like, just in total enjoyment, enjoyment of just how much we had a good time. Employment, yeah. Okay. I'm all over the place.
Love it. That's what Buffalo does to you.
Yeah, a lot of time changes, a lot of missing sleep, so that's what
stressing
it's like.
Over work.
All that fun stuff. But now we have a sequel, bringing back the old gang in a bit of a different way in Jumanji: The Next Level.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we needed a sequel, but what did you think of Next Level?
First time I saw the trailer, first time they announced it, and they announced that they're gonna be playing different characters, I was like, oh, that could be really interesting. Because you gotta get clever with it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then the trailers came out, all that good stuff, and they announced Danny Glover. Then I got a little like...
Donald Glover, yeah.
No.
Danny Glover.
Donald Glover is Childish Gambino.
Yeah, you're right.
It's late. And then Danny Devito, honestly, other than the Penguin...
I was gonna say.
Yeah. I think other than the Penguin, I don't...
Kill all the children.
And before that, Twins. Yes, thank you, Kent. Yeah, so Twins... And other than Twins in that, I don't really know if I'm too big of a... I don't have a problem with him.
Yeah.
Right?
He's just not your cup of tea.
Yeah. And so we just got out of this movie. And I gotta say, I thought it recaptured a lot of magic and I had a lot of fun with it. Is it better than the first one? I'm probably gonna say no, because that first one blew us away.
Yeah, it did.
But I had a lot of fun with this movie. You were right though, on the first half, I didn't sound very excited and I didn't laugh. Because when I think something's funny, I think you literally hear me LOL.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I literally.
We're both like that. Yeah, we're both very vocal.
I literally laughed out loud. But I'll tell you what, man. Karen Gillan, bro.
So, all right, well, let's hit it. So now we have these new characters in Jumanji. We're returning back to the world. What did you think of so it's in the trailer, but the overall switch is that Dwayne Johnson is now Danny DeVito, and Kevin Hart is Donald Glover.
Danny Glover. The Rock as
Danny
DeVito wasn't great. It wasn't that bad or anything, but there was no magic behind it.
Yeah, there was no.
Kevin Hart as Donald Glover, yes, as Donald Glover, very good. Yes. That was good.
Yeah.
But I don't mean it to be disrespectful to The Rock, but I didn't get any magic out of that. Karen Gillan, she brought back the magic of whatever. M. When we get Jack Black as Bethany,
yeah,
amazing. Yes. That's amazing. That is so funny.
He stole the show the first time, right? As Bethany, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's a good. I enjoyed this movie, but I have to also be honest with you. I never rewatched the first Jumanji, and I really liked it.
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest difference is in films that are good and the movies that are just great, man. You just want to watch it over and over and over.
So you don't think you'll ever watch this?
Probably not. Now, if it makes it to Netflix, which probably not, because the first one didn't, so there must be some type of reason.
Yeah.
I'd probably watch it just in the background, but if one of my friends calls me up and says, hey, let me cook you dinner, a good dinner, and let's watch Jumanji, I could be
would you be like, why that movie?
No, I would say,
would you not
what
try
are you
to
cooking?
Switch it up? Be like, what about The Good Liar?
No, I would say, what are you cooking?
Okay, fair enough.
I would say, what are you cooking? Yeah, whatever the movie is, yeah. Well, because Karen Gillan's in the movie.
Karen Gillan, yeah, that's true. And The Rock.
I thought,
yeah.
I thought, Karen Gillan, man.
She's definitely, well, they definitely kind of, they made her the lead character in this one a little bit more than The Rock even. He kind of, as Donald Glover, he really doesn't have much to do. Or as Danny DeVito, he really doesn't have much to do. We have the kind of the what and the little bit of the New York accent they throw in that is supposed to be Danny DeVito, but that never really takes off, like you kind of said, where Kevin Hart absolutely nails Donald Glover and just the way that he speaks. And it's so different than Kevin Hart that it kind of works. Where I feel like we've seen The Rock do that voice and that kind of thing before. I want to say it was in the game plan when he ate the cinnamon cookies, his tongue swelled up and then he had to talk like that. And I don't know, there was something about Jack Black, like you said, taking on that Bethany character where everything about it was just so funny. Black, Kevin Hart is able to do that in both personas, as Fridge and as Milo is his name in the movie. Where The Rock didn't really kind of stand out. For me, this is a perfect example of a movie doing really, really well, like Welcome to the Jungle. A bunch of writers going into a room and writing a bunch of jokes for a movie that's plot's not written yet, and then just proceeding to make another movie. Because for me, while I did have fun and laugh in the movie a few times, I just think that there's no movie really happening. Like, there's a whole storyline, and they bring in all this unnecessary stuff, like the villain that killed the Dwayne Johnson's character's parents. Like, that's never ever brought up again, or like ever like does anything.
Yeah, but that's totally a video game.
Yeah, that is very video game-ish. That's true. But for me, like, I don't even remember the villain's name. Like, he had no real threat. I mean, there was no moment of dominance or anything like that. Even though the villain in the first movie wasn't very great, from The Irishman, Bill Cannavale or along those lines. But it just felt this movie was so empty. I didn't feel like we needed to be on this journey. I didn't know if I really wanted to be on it. Sure, I wanted to hang out with these characters again, and the fact that they did switch them up, you know, at first I also thought was like a really creative, like, you know, cool way to go about it. But then immediately when we get into the jungle, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, this isn't as fun. I kind of miss those other characters.
Yeah, and it's weird because, yeah, actually, you make a really good point, because probably within the first 10 minutes, I was just like, oh man, I wish they were the characters. Which is interesting, because they're just, that's not them.
That is not them, but also it kind of created this dynamic, and they're messing with it. And of course I would love, you know, I love them to push the boundaries and change things up and try, and which they did, and obviously they bring it home towards the ending of the movie, and you know.
Oh, they needed
yeah, of course, and with the theme song and everything, and that becomes a good moment. But I just feel like it's all the other parts of the movie that don't feel important. The movie starts off with Spencer being very lost, and I never really buy that he is so confused in the past year because M's posting on Instagram that she's having fun, that he can't be with her, so his only exception is to go back into Jumanji. I think that logic is pretty wacky. I'm curious to know, you know, why bring in the parent? I mean, I guess the video game aspect, like you said, makes sense, but there was just not much here. Every scene felt like it was 10 minutes too long. I think the movie honestly should have been 90 minutes because there's a huge baboon fight scene, and that scene feels 20 minutes too long. I just felt like it just kept going and going and going. And oddly enough...
That's supposed to be a video game stage.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though. It just doesn't feel nearly as engaging as the first movie did. And I just think it's repetitive. It reminded me immediately of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's doing the same exact thing with the entertaining people, just in not as an engaging story. And I think that's why it's kind of forgettable, and it's not a movie that you'd want to rewatch again, or I wouldn't really want to rewatch again. I'm not, if there is another Jumanji, I'm not like, I'm out. I'm not there yet, because I do enjoy the characters, and once we get back to, you know, to home, I'm happy again. But I think they really need to work on what they want to do and what they want to kind of say as a story, and get a little bit more focused on the plot rather than just pumping out the same thing.
Two things.
Yeah.
The beginning scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Baby Groot.
Yes.
Too long.
Too long.
And that was the cutest thing on the planet.
Yes.
But then after the first time, I was just like, oh my gosh.
And that's how I felt with this baboon scene. I was
cut out the entire Eagle of the Living Planet. Just take all that out. That was stupid.
You're reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy, so you're not even talking about this movie.
And I was just thinking to myself, like, I can't watch that again.
We almost forgot Aquafina.
Oh, she was great.
Yeah, Aquafina comes in the movie.
Awkwafina's great.
Yeah, and I thought she was a really good addition. Much better with the Danny DeVito character than The Rock, I think. Her dynamic of being kind of punched over worked a lot better.
Yes.
I thought she did a lot more with the character than The Rock did. But again, you know, she's a character that's there, and then she's, you know, just doesn't really have much to do. And then for me, the real ending with the new character that Milo would become, and how that all unfolds, that's just bad writing for me. I mean, that's just silly nonsense, trying to let's tug his tears as hard as we can with this ridiculous, like, it just feels so out of place and cheesy. I just couldn't buy into it. But yeah, towards the end of the movie,
Let's do a spoiler real quick.
Okay, spoilers.
So if you don't want to know,
Okay,
I mean, this
yeah,
is not
the whole flying horse thing and him staying in Jumanji, that's just stupid. I thought that was such like an emotionally jerking, like just dumb response. And then of course he has to fly, right?
Yeah,
like he has to be able to fly. Yeah, of course. Honestly, well, did you think that's what was going to happen? Because
no.
I thought Spencer was going to die or someone was going to die and he was going to give his life, like his final life away. Because they did that in the first movie, right? Someone gives someone a life.
No, I didn't.
So I was like, oh, there you go. You know, Spence or Danny DeVito is going to die, and then he passes.
For some reason,
which makes way more sense too.
I thought DeVito was going to stay for some reason.
With him,
with his horse,
Aquafina. No, like to me that just you know, of course he's 70, wants to fly as a horse. Yeah, okay. Like the whole flying horse thing. Even in the world of Jumanji, just is ridiculous. I don't know. It just looked silly and it didn't look great. And that scene of The Rock running on the bridge at the end, I don't know if you caught it. That they were running out of money again. You know what I mean? It looked like just this body and his head was so large. I don't know. So anyway, again, I mean, I can nitpick it all day. I think the characters.
Oh, you're not talking about the bridge scene? With the baboons?
At the very end when he's running towards the balloon.
Weird.
Yeah, no, the baboons did too. But there's a part when The Rock is running towards the rope at the end with the balloon. I missed that. Oh man, did it look weird?
Really?
Like, ooh, like Wonder Woman, you know, like that. Yeah, the tank scene, you know, it just looked weird. But it was very quick.
God.
So, and I mean, again, that's me nitpicking. Overall, I think the moments that you get with the characters when they're talking about their weaknesses and their strengths, that's fun. That's where you really want to be. So I think it's very odd that they kind of just don't really expand on that. And you know, again, there's so many things that they kind of engage but never really harp on that I just think that there was a lot of missed opportunity.
And that's not even the spoiler I meant.
What was the spoiler you wanted to say?
The after credit scene.
Yes. So the after credit scene,
the heater repairman comes in, touches the button, and instead of him going into Jumanji, he's doing what they did in the original Robin Williams version. Well,
that's what appears, that Jumanji has now came out of the game. Because when Robin Williams and them used to roll the dice, they would read on the game board, and whatever they said would come out and emerge, and they would have to fight it.
With that being said, I want to just say this. If you make a part 3...
You're warning Universal?
Yes. With that being said, let me just say this. If you make a Jumanji 3, number one, do it. I'll be there. But if you're telling me there's no Rock, Karen Gillan, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, no one wants to watch the kids. No disrespect to the kids.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind the kids, but you're right.
I don't mind them in any way. I like them. They're great.
Yeah, they're fine. They're definitely there for what their purpose is. But no one's watching these Jumanji movies for these kids. But I would assume if they are going to go in that direction, which obviously I guess now that they've done that.
Why would they turn into their avatars? How would they turn into their avatars?
But I would assume their avatars can come out. You know, but now does that mean that Milo could be out and running the streets?
As a horse.
As a horse. You know, I don't know. I mean, maybe the characters are out. I don't know. I mean, if I guess as the game being broken, all things are off the table now. But it's just like, okay, now what's next? You know, what colored rock are we going after now? You know, just be a little bit more creative. We could do more than that.
Fair enough. Next week, that new trailer that dropped today, bro.
The voices in your head.
Vader, Snoke.
I don't think there could be a better way to end this year.
Oh no.
Than to join us here at AMC Town Square to watch the 40 years in the making.
The final Star Wars.
Rise of Skywalker. I have thought long and hard about this, but the more and more I do, the more I think that what Disney has done with Star Wars, and me, of course, and I will say this, I have enjoyed Star Wars, not being the diehard Star Wars fan. I have loved everything that they have done with the Star Wars universe, and I've never been so engaged in that universe. And every single time I watch a trailer, I get goosebumps, and I am just so excited to see what's going to happen, and I don't think we could end the year on a better note. So if you haven't reserved your tickets yet, I hope you do quickly because they're almost gone. Texas Sky.
702-348-5618.
Or comment below if you want to go because it's going to be, I mean, it's the end of the year.
I finished my marathon.
We're celebrating the, oh yeah?
I did 1, 2, 3, Solo, Rogue One, 7, and 8.
So you just skipped 4, 5, and 6.
I just can't. I can't.
We were doing so good on this
review. But I did watch IGN's recap of 4, 5, 6.
And you're not interested? Not even...
No, what happened?
Not even Empire, though?
No.
Because like I could see you. I shouldn't even say that, but like I could see people who don't like older movies kind of have issue with New Hope, because New Hope, of course, is the one that doesn't have the greatest intrigue. But man, Empire, man, that movie still holds up and I think looks beautiful.
Great.
But I will say, with the way this is going, Rise of Skywalker can make this trilogy be the trilogy. And I know Star Wars fans are going to flip out, but for me, my emotional attachment, I definitely cared about Han and Luke. I mean, I really didn't care about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, but I'm really invested in these characters. So this could be for me the trilogy for Star Wars. But it all depends on this third one. And I mean, they've been building, and the way that the trailers and what I've seen and what I've just imagine it can go. I mean, you said there's rumors out there, things are happening.
Gosh, dude.
I am just so excited.
Plus, that trailer that dropped today was the best one they've released.
It is so hard for me to get this excited for a movie, but I've been watching that trailer over and over ever since from D23. I can't be more excited. So join us here for what is probably going to be one of the most epic movie screenings of all time here at AMC.
It's going to be madness. And
it's going to be wild, and it's going to be a great way to close the year with friends and family and good people all here at Town Square.
And I'm sure we're going to do a really lengthy review.
Oh, I believe it.
I'm ready and excited about it. I'm ready and excited about it, bro.
Well, make sure to text this guy and get your tickets because they are going quick. I can't say much more. And if you watch that trailer and you have no interest, then you can't be saved to begin with.
No, you're
you're too far gone.
You wanted them.
Yeah.
Jason, when it comes on it?
The Film Lovers website.